the combination of Lenovo and Motorola has definitely found some immense success in the mid-range league. Motorola has been consistently taking inputs from its users, and their designs have evolved over the years, along with necessary upgrades to the specs provided. One such important device in this lineup is the all-new Moto One Power. To be very frank, I have always admired the Motorola design language, as they have always experimented new looks, but that's not the case with the Moto One Power. It looks more like the Redmi Note 5 Pro, and this is one of the biggest reasons for me to choose the Nokia 6.1 Plus over the Moto One Power. The device is covered by completely with a metal back and plastic sides. Okay, there's actually one thing that I admire about the design, and that is the placement of the Moto logo. It is placed right on the fingerprint scanner, which is pretty cool. On the contrary, the phone is kind of bulky. That is around 9mm in thickness, and it is very heavy, measuring up to 205 grams. I'm not really a fan of big phones, and that could be one of the reasons that the design of the Moto One Power didn't really impress me. Also, right above the fingerprint scanner, you can find the dual camera setup. The power and volume rocker buttons are positioned on the right side. Due to the size of the smartphone, reaching out to these buttons is kind of hard. The One Power supports quick charging, which is kind of necessary considering the huge 5000 mAh battery. Unlike the Nokia 6.1 Plus, you'll get the Motorola 15-watt turbo charger right in the box. I tend to judge a smartphone a lot by the display it offers. Considering that, the Moto One Power has a very average display. The device sports a 6.2 inches IPS panel with a 19:9 aspect ratio. The Nokia 6.1 Plus, Mi A2 and even the Max Pro M1 has a much crispier display when compared to the One Power. If you tend to compare the 6.1 Plus with the One Power, you can find a slight yellow tint on the display, especially in a white background, which is kind of annoying. The display isn't really that great, but not bad either. It can pretty much get the job done. If color accuracy is a consideration, then you have many other options to choose from. The One Power offers one of the best software experiences. It is the very first smartphone by Motorola to take up the Android One program, which means you'll get a clean stock version of Android and promise 2 years of updates. Unlike Nokia, Motorola did take time to release the Android P for the One Power, but it released a pretty stable version. There was a huge improvement in terms of experience and battery life. Now let's get to the hardware. The device packs a decent Snapdragon processor, to be specific, the 636 chipset. The device comes with 4GB of RAM, which ensures to offer fluid multitasking. In fact, it was able to handle any app I threw at it. I was barely able to notice any lag or stutter. The One Power also doesn't support face unlock. Also, I did notice that the fingerprint unlock was pretty slow. Overall, the performance is pretty good. It is not excellent, but one of the best performing smartphone under the price tag. The device also bears a huge 5000 mAh battery. With full brightness and the basic real-time usage, I got freaking 2 days of battery life. Also, considering that the device was in standby for 24 hours, I still got 24 hours more of consistent real-time usage. The battery on the One Power is very good. The stunning fact is that with half an hour of Asphalt 9, the device discharged only 6% of juice. Although the 6.1 Plus and One Power share the same spec, I must admit that the One Power is a better performer in terms of camera. The device holds a dual camera setup, with one being a 16MP primary sensor and the other being a 5MP secondary depth sensor. Upfront, the device has a 12MP selfie shooter. It is a fact that Motorola believes no matter what the camera specs are, the company tries to give an overall camera app experience by baking in a lot of features. The Moto Camera app offers an expert mode in which you can manually control the white balance exposure and even the ISO. You will also be able to notice that the Google Lens is integrated into the Moto Camera app. The camera offers crispier details and definitely outcasts the 6.1 Plus camera, although it's not as good as the Mi A2. The daylight shots were pretty good. The photos did lack sharpness and the colors weren't realistic. Also, the device lacks video stabilization, which means you'll be getting some pretty shaky shots. Also, I should mention that it didn't perform well in the low light conditions, but still better than the 6.1 Plus on a larger scale. The low light shots were shaky and produced a lot of noise. Cut short, if you're looking for a good smartphone with a great camera, then the Moto One Power is not the one you should be considering. If you're a person who reads a lot on smartphone or loves watching movies on big screen and cares more about productivity rather than camera, then the Moto One Power is a great choice. Undoubtedly, the device will offer you some great Android experience and some pretty rigid build quality. Also, definitely the best battery life when compared to the others in the budget league. If you're a performance-oriented user, then the Xiaomi Mi A2 will be a better choice. You can purchase the One Power for around 15,000 Indian rupees. Anyways, do share your thoughts about the One Power on the comments below. Either way, thanks for watching. Yours truly Droid Sector, ours truly this life.